All right, man, we're going to go through about 10 clips from day one of team camp. It's important when you're watching this that you put yourself in the play, even if it's not you that does it, and try your best not to watch the ball. We want to critique technique and assignment as much as we can here. Also, if you are singled out in a clip, don't get offended. Everyone makes mistakes both the days that we had. So it just be a teaching point for the rest of the team, and we'll get it fixed for next time. First clip right here, we have spread 33. One thing before we get going, we need to make sure that we are signaling one high and two high, even on plays when it doesn't matter. That way a defense doesn't figure out every time that Kyler signals out here that we're running triple option this direction. So even if you're running rocket toss on the backside and you're the deep motion guy, just signal one high, two high. It's too high, so we know that we are getting flat for 5 steps and coming out the corner. Ideally, it's a kick out block. Backside, we have our motion. We're getting in pitch path as a third option. So I'll let it play, and then we'll go back through in slow-mo to see certain things. I think you did a great job of locking on and running your feet and becoming a opening up a gap to run through here. Good physicality. Ideally, we want to be flat for 5 steps first. But as that corner triggers, the quicker we have to come to them. That's a good kick out block. Let's see, Will, you're on time here. We're 1.5 steps in the ground before the snap. And then you're also behind the fullback at the point of the mesh, which is where we want to be. But I think something that's going to help is our first step needs to get width and depth. So right now it's actually stepped closer to that tackle. So your crossover step is a little less natural. So get depth and width in the first step, 1.5, ball snapped. We're at the mesh at the position of the quarterback. We're in the right place. So if we pitch this, we're out the gates right here. Next here, we got spread 990, so you're both running hitches. Quick note, we need to always be in a stance that we can come out of. One negative step is not a big deal, but we don't want to take more than that. It's just too slow. Also, I prefer no negative steps and just go to gain ground immediately. So we're both thinking hitches, getting 5 yards, putting that man on our butt and being a big target for the quarterback. Let's watch it here. All right, go back and watch our feet. We'll look at Kyler here. So we got a back step, and then we're gaining ground. Same thing, a little pitter patter right here before we take off. Kyler need a better job of avoiding collision to get all the way to your depth, but good job posting them up and spinning around. Will, you made your depth, and I see you relocate your feet a little bit farther away from this man. That's good too. Next, 20 Bronco. So we should signal one high, two high. We do have two high, so we know that we're getting out here to corner. RT, we're slamming. Bronco, we have D motion. D motion, we should have 4 steps in the ground before the ball is snapped, and we want to be behind the F as tight to him as we can. If we're running rocket toss, then we have our pitch path, but on Bronco, we need to put our foot in the ground and get downhill. Let it play out here. Right, coming back, Kyler, let's watch your motion. First step, again, kind of comes underneath you, a little bit tighter to the tackle here, not gaining much ground. It makes that crossover step more difficult. But you do make it to the fullback at the snap, and when you get the right foot in the ground and come downhill right behind him. And then we would be up on this backer if this man stayed out. It's a give read because he came in. Or excuse me, it's a give read because he stayed out here. Will, let's watch you out here. Getting flat for 5, good. Break down your feet. Like to see better contact, but you're in the right spot. All right, we got Marshall and Danny here. This is line 35. Nub side, we know that we have a corner. Also, when we have a option play, we want to make sure we get width. So we bring this alley farther with us. We make that block as wide as we can for a good kick out and a good running lane. Let's let it play here. Marshall, good job avoiding the read so we don't mess it up for the QB. Like to see us make contact on every single play and be engaged with the guy at the whistle. Danny, let's watch your motion here. I think all of your steps are money. They're on time. You watch your first step, you get depth and width. Your crossover feels natural. You're flat. The only nitpicky thing here is we want to be in motion with that hesitation step on down instead of just going on ready. But keep your steps the same, just have that hesitation step first. All right, we got flex 19 seal. Seal means that our wide receiver is blocking the outside backer. Ideally, we're off his butt as he seals him in. However, if this guy is a contained player and fighting outside, we might end up going inside his block. We have D-motion on the backside. D-motion, our 4-step, should be with our outside foot, so it's left, right. So our right foot should be right here at the snap, and ideally we want to catch the snap behind the tackle. Very nice from both of you. Marshall, way to get hands-on and be physical downfield. Danny, I think your motion is on the money. Getting depth and width on that first step. Maybe a tad late. Want to be at the quarterback, the depth of the quarterback, whenever the snap goes off. And want to catch this ball on a sprint. So that's just economic timing between the quarterbacks and us. We don't want to slow down to catch that pitch. Catch on the run. But good job being physical downfield, putting your shoulder down to make this guy pay for coming and tackle you. I'll go here. We got Ram 34. Upside. So we know we have corner. And 34 and 35, the first man on or outside that tight end is the key, is the read key. So right now it's this man, he's the read key. So we need to make sure we get flat and arc around him and get to corner. And then backside we have our motion. Let's let it play here. So Danny, you blocked our read key. Ends up being a good play for us. But if this ball was pulled, we want to have the quarterback clear vision to read him, and you'd be up on the corner. Marshall, let's watch your feet. First step comes underneath you, but your timing is good. We'd like to gain more width with that step. Get 1.5 at the snap, and then at the mesh, we'd be behind the quarterback. So a little bit late, we'd be at the quarterback at the mesh. And if this ball were pitched, we just mirror the quarterback. We'll go next. All right. Spread 990. We got hitches for both of you guys here. Let's let it play out. Okay. Tegan, good speed. Way to get to your depth and post this guy up right here. You could be an option. It'd be a tough catch, but your hands are away and ready to be there. Corbin, I know that Tegan's not that much faster than you, so we got to sprint and get to our depth. Also, anytime we're running hitches, we're going to get all the way to 5 and stick it and turn left for the ball. We don't want to get to 4 and then drift back to 5. So next here. Note on this one before we get going, there is just an error in the cadence and we get off too soon. But if that were to happen in a game, the most important thing is that we're at the mesh at the correct time. So even if you screw up and you go on down or you go on R or whatever it is if we're in the right place when the ball snapped, then we can run with it. So let it play out right here. So Tegan, I remember this one on the field, ended up moving on ready instead of the down. So again, if that happens, we just need to make sure at the snap that we are right here. We're going to be flatter. So be right here at the snap. If you have to, we can slow it down and maintain pitch relationship. Slam, we should have our wide receiver slamming right here. And then Corbin, you're off his butt to go kick out the corner and create our running lane. So fly out for 5 steps, make the corner come with you and be a kick out block. We have our running lane right off your butt. Got to be running, got to be sprinting both slots. Ends up being a good play for us. Both you guys double team and get a pancake out there. But we're going to make sure we do things correctly as well. Last clip. We got 19 slam coming the opposite way. So again, this should be a slam from our wide receiver, pinning him inside, and Tegan, you're right off his butt to kick out the corner. And then we have D motion from the backside. D motion, we're moving on D with no hesitation. We want to be our 4th step in the ground behind the fullback at the snap. Let's let it run here. Okay. So Corbin do a good job of catching the ball and getting yards. It'd be a better play for us if we are catching that ball outside the tackle. So right now, since we didn't motion, we're catching that ball really on the same side guard. We're going to catch that ball like right here, and then you can follow Tegan's block. Tegan, we just want to be the hammer, not the nail. Make sure we bring it on those. It'd be a good kick out block and lock on. All right, that's it for day 1. I'm going to make another short video for day 2. Similar stuff, probably about 10 plays. I apologize, freshmen and GV guys, with everything that's going on. We only have film of the varsity. But that doesn't mean that we weren't making the same mistakes on multiple fields and we can't learn from clips that you weren't in. So make sure you guys watch these and feel free to text me if you have any questions.